When you think you've seen Jim Jones keep his cool through years of love and hip-hop drama, think again, because this time he completely lost it. What started as a calm, career-focused interview turned into one of the most explosive moments of his career. All thanks to one unexpected question about Chrissy Lampkin. It began with a well-known podcast host casually bringing up their long, complicated relationship, the kind fans have followed for over a decade. But when the interviewer pressed a little too deep about their engagement, living situation, and where things really stand, Jim's demeanor instantly changed. His tone dropped, his body language stiffened, and within seconds, the atmosphere in the studio turned icy. People in the room said you could feel the tension. The interviewer tried to laugh it off, but Jim wasn't having it. "Don't play with me about mine," he warned before abruptly removing his mic. The cameras kept rolling as he stood up, glared at the host, and walked out, leaving everyone in stunned silence. What happened off-camera afterward was even more shocking. Staffers say Jim's team demanded the footage be deleted, while Chrissy's name started trending within minutes. Fans are now divided. Some say he was protecting his woman, while others think he just exposed deeper issues in their relationship. And as the internet picks sides, one thing's clear. This interview wasn't just gone wrong. It was a full-blown meltdown. The energy in the studio that morning was lighthearted, at least in the beginning. Jim Jones had shown up looking sharp and relaxed, ready to talk about his new business ventures, music projects, and his evolving role in hip-hop. The host, known for stirring up viral conversations, promised to keep it real but respectful. Nobody could have predicted that this interview would go down as one of the most uncomfortable and unforgettable moments in recent hip-hop media history. As the cameras started rolling, everything seemed smooth. Jim cracked jokes, shared stories about Dipset, and reflected on how far he'd come since the Harlem days. The audience in the live chat was loving it, dropping comments like "Capo still that guy," and Jim sounding grown now. But about 20 minutes in, the tone shifted, all because of one question. The host leaned forward, smiled, and said, "Jim, I gotta ask this for the fans. What's really going on with you and Chrissy Lampkin these days? People been wondering if y'all still together or if things cooled off." Instantly, you could see Jim's whole energy change. His eyes narrowed, his shoulders stiffened, and he paused for a few seconds before answering. "We good," he said flatly, trying to move on. But the interviewer didn't stop there, because, people seen that video of Chrissy out with her girls, talking about being single and free. "So, is it complicated right now, or—" Jim cut him off mid-sentence. "Yo, you trying to start something right now?" he asked, his tone sharper. The room fell silent. The host nervously chuckled, saying, Nah, just asking what the people want to know." Jim leaned back in his chair and said quietly, "You asking what the people want to know, or what you want to start?" That's when things went downhill fast. The producer tried to change topics, signaling the host to move on, but he didn't catch the hint. He laughed again and said, "Come on, Jim, it's all love. We just seen Chrissy saying she don't need a ring, so the fans just wondering what's up." Jim slammed his hand on the table, not hard enough to break anything, but enough to send a message. "Yo, y'all love to play with my relationship like it's entertainment. You don't know what we go through, what we built, what we survived." Everyone in the studio froze. The cameras were still rolling, capturing every second. The host tried to de-escalate the situation, saying, "It's just a question, bro. We all respect you and Chrissy." But Jim wasn't hearing it anymore. "Nah, because every time I do one of these interviews, y'all want to bring up Chrissy like we some reality show act? That's my life. That's my woman. Keep her name out your mouth unless you talking respect." Then he unhooked his mic. You could hear the faint scratch of static as the wire tugged. "We done here," he muttered. Standing up, the host stammered. "Wait, Jim, don't do that. Come on." But before he could finish, Jim turned, looked straight at him and said, "You crossed the line, my boy. You don't get to talk about my family like that." With that, he walked out of frame. The door slammed behind him, and the entire crew just sat there, stunned. One of the producers whispered, "Is he serious?" Another said, "Yeah, he's gone." That's it. The host tried to laugh it off, saying, "Ain't y'all." Looks like Jim wasn't feeling that question, but his nervous smile said it all. Within minutes, clips of the walkout were circulating online. Someone from the studio, likely an assistant, had recorded the moment on their phone and posted it to TikTok with a caption. "Jim Jones just stormed out of our interview after a Chrissy question." The clip hit 1 million views in under an hour. Fans flooded the comments with mixed opinions. Some defended Jim, saying he was right to protect his privacy. Others accused him of overreacting, pointing out that he and Chrissy made their relationship public on Love and Hip Hop for years. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Jim's team was furious. They reportedly called the production company, demanding that the footage not be aired or monetized. His manager allegedly told the showrunner, "If y'all post that video, we're done doing business. Ever." But by then, the damage was already done. Screenshots, snippets, and fan edits of Jim walking out were everywhere. Hashtags like #JimJonesWalkout and #ChrissyQuestions started trending on Twitter. Even Chrissy herself noticed. Within hours, she posted a cryptic Instagram story that read, "If they can't handle your name in their mouth, maybe they shouldn't be the ones protecting it." Fans were quick to interpret it as a subtle jab. Maybe at Jim, maybe at the interviewer. Either way, it added gasoline to the fire. Blog pages picked up the story instantly. The Shade Room posted the video with the caption, "Jim Jones walks out mid-near view after being asked about his relationship with Chrissy Lampkin. Thoughts?" Within minutes, the comments section exploded. "Man, Jim too emotional," one fan wrote. "Nah, I get it. Don't play with his woman," another defended. One user summed it up. "Every time Jim and Chrissy try to move in peace, the media drags them back." Later that evening, sources close to Jim claimed he wasn't just angry, he was hurt. He felt blindsided, one insider told a hip-hop outlet. They told him it was going to be a business interview, then flipped it on him with personal stuff. That's why he walked out. He's not about to let them turn him into a meme. As for the interviewer, he went live on Instagram that night to clear the air. His explanation only made things worse. "I didn't mean no disrespect," he said. "I just asked what fans been asking. Jim gotta understand, when you in the public eye, people gon' talk." The comments weren't kind. Fans accused him of baiting Jim for views. "You knew exactly what you were doing," one viewer commented. Another added, "You tried to go viral off that man's pain." Meanwhile, Jim Jones stayed silent. No statements, no tweets, no responses, just silence. But his silence spoke volumes. According to insiders, he told his PR team, "Let them talk. I said what I said." Back in New York, Chrissy reportedly refused to comment publicly, but was seen looking visibly upset while out shopping. Paparazzi caught her leaving a store, and when a reporter asked, "Chrissy, are you and Jim okay?" she simply said, "We're fine," before getting into her car. But people who know her say it hit hard. Chrissy's tired of this cycle, a friend told Page 6. Every time she's finally at peace, someone stirs up drama, and Jim reacts. It's been years, but it's the same pattern: love, loyalty, and explosive emotions. And the truth is, she's not wrong. For over a decade, Jim and Chrissy's love story has played out under the spotlight, full of passion, heartbreak, and public arguments. But this time, the world saw a different side of Jim, not the rapper, not the TV star, but the man who simply had enough. Because when that question about Chrissy came up, it wasn't just another interview moment. It was the spark that lit a fuse that had been waiting to explode. And from the looks of it, the aftermath was only getting started. The aftermath was only getting started. The next morning, the internet was a battlefield. Everywhere you looked, from Instagram Reels to YouTube clips, Jim Jones' walkout had become the hottest topic in hip-hop media. The video was being replayed, dissected, and remixed. Fans slowed it down, zoomed in, and even made compilations of Jim's reaction in slow motion, captioned with dramatic sound effects. But behind the viral chaos, something deeper was brewing. A close source to the interview production leaked new information, claiming that the host had been specifically instructed not to bring up Chrissy. Jim's manager made it clear from the start, the insider revealed. They told the team, don't ask about his personal life, don't mention Chrissy, and don't try to create clickbait. But the host ignored it. He wanted that viral moment. That single detail changed everything. Suddenly, the internet's sympathy started swinging back toward Jim. Fans began realizing that this wasn't just a case of a celebrity being too sensitive. It was about respect being crossed for the sake of views. By noon, Jim's name was trending again, but this time under hashtags like #respect Jim Jones and #protect Chrissy Lampkin. Fans flooded the interviewer's comments, demanding an apology. "You knew the rules and still went for it," one wrote. "You don't bait a man with his relationship like that." Another added. Meanwhile, Jim was spotted in Miami, seemingly unbothered. TMZ cameras caught him stepping out of a luxury SUV, wearing sunglasses and sipping coffee. When a reporter shouted, "Jim, anything you want to say about the interview?" he simply smirked and said, "Nah, y'all got enough to talk about already." That small, subtle response only fueled more debate. People began analyzing his body language, wondering if his calm demeanor was genuine or just a front hiding frustration. Chrissy, on the other hand, wasn't keeping as quiet. Later that evening, she shared a post on Instagram that sent shockwaves through her fan base. It was a black and white photo of herself with the caption, "You can't protect me from the world if you're the one walking away every time it gets loud." The comment section went insane. Some took it as a direct shot at Jim, suggesting that she was tired of him storming off instead of standing firm. Others defended her, saying she was just expressing how difficult it was to constantly be dragged into public drama. Underneath, one fan wrote, "Y'all love each other too hard." "That's the problem," another replied. "They love each other deep, but deep love comes with deep scars." As that post started trending, rumors began swirling that Chrissy had temporarily unfollowed Jim on Instagram. Screenshots flooded Twitter, people posted side-by-side comparisons, tagging both of them and asking, "What's going on here?" Insiders close to the couple confirmed they had a heated argument over the phone after the interview aired. Chrissy felt like Jim walking out made it worse, the source explained. She wanted him to just brush it off. But Jim's pride wouldn't let him sit there and laugh it off when someone disrespected her. That tension only made fans more emotional, because this wasn't just a random celebrity couple. Jim and Chrissy had been the heart and soul of love and hip-hop, New York. They were the couple that made audiences believe in loyalty, even through the chaos. Their proposal moment, their fights, their makeups, it was all part of hip-hop reality TV history. So when fans saw cracks appearing again, it felt personally invested. Comment sections turned into therapy sessions. People started sharing old clips of their iconic moments, with captions like "They've been through too much to fall apart now." But not everyone was sympathetic. A few industry insiders began whispering that maybe the tension between Jim and Chrissy wasn't just emotional. It might be business-related. One gossip blogger claimed that Jim was gearing up for a major rebranding project, one that didn't include any reality TV connections. "He wants to be seen as a boss, not a storyline," the blogger said. Every time Chrissy's name comes up, people start talking about drama instead of his new projects. Whether that was true or not, the timing raised eyebrows. Just days before the interview, Jim had launched a new music venture and fashion collaboration. Some people speculated that his outburst might have been building up for months, a mix of frustration, pride, and exhaustion from constantly being labeled by his relationship rather than his achievements. But as the media frenzy intensified, one person decided to speak up, Yandy Smith. Jim's former friend and Love and Hip Hop co-star Yandy went live on Instagram, addressing the situation in her usual calm but pointed tone. "Listen, I know Jim, and I know Chrissy," she said. "They've both been through the fire together. But people gotta stop poking at their relationship like it's a joke. That man loves that woman. He's just not about to let anybody clown her on a platform. Her comments went viral immediately. Fans praised her for showing maturity and understanding, especially since her relationship with Chrissy had been rocky in the past. Yandi really showed growth. One commenter wrote, "That's real woman energy right there." The interviewer, however, wasn't done defending himself. In a new video statement, he doubled down. "Look, I didn't mean no disrespect. But if you sign up for interviews, you gotta expect tough questions. That's part of being in the game." That response backfired hard. Fans flooded his page with clown emojis and angry comments. "You baited him and now you playing victim," one user wrote. That wasn't journalism, that was desperation. Even fellow media personalities started chiming in. DJ Envy tweeted, "If you agree to a no-go list, respect it, period." Charlemagne Thaw God reposted the clip with the caption, "Some interviews just ain't worth the moment." Meanwhile, new footage surfaced, leaked from a behind-the-scenes crew member. The video showed Jim standing in the hallway after walking out, visibly upset, saying, "Every time I show up to do something positive, they drag me back into that reality TV mess. I'm done with that." The leak confirmed what many suspected. Jim wasn't just angry, he was exhausted. He felt trapped between his real life and the entertainment version of it that everyone else kept feeding off. By now, Chrissy's silence was deafening. She hadn't posted again, hadn't made a statement, hadn't appeared anywhere public. But according to sources close to her, she was reevaluating things. Chrissy loves Jim, but she's tired, the insider said. She's tired of living through moments that turn into memes. She wants peace, not publicity. And that's when Mona Scott, the executive producer of Love and Hip Hop, reportedly reached out to both of them privately. She was concerned, a VH1 insider shared. She didn't want this interview to turn into another circus. Mona has always believed in their story, but she also knows they've outgrown the show's chaos. Mona's involvement only fueled speculation that Jim and Chrissy might make one final appearance on Love and Fear. And Hip Hop a closure moment to officially put their public relationship story to rest. But Jim wasn't interested. He reportedly told Mona, "I ain't doing no reunion, no tell-all, no nothing. If it ain't about business, I'm out." So here they were again, two people whose love story built an empire, now standing on opposite sides of fame's unforgiving spotlight. For Jim, it was about control, about reclaiming his narrative. For Chrissy, it was about peace, about finally being free from endless scrutiny. And for fans, it was about heartbreak, watching the couple who once defined. Hip-hop love slowly unraveled in real time. But little did anyone know, things were about to get even more explosive. Because someone close to the show had just leaked private text messages between Chrissy and Mona. And those messages hinted that this story wasn't over. Not by a long shot. When the alleged text messages between Chrissy and Mona Scott leaked online, everything changed overnight. Screenshots began spreading across Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit faster than wildfire. The messages showed Chrissy venting about the interview fiasco and her frustration with Jim's reaction in one message. She supposedly told Mona, "I'm tired of cleaning up his image while mine gets dragged. Every time something happens, I'm the villain. But I'm the one holding him down when the camera stopped rolling." Another text seemed even more explosive. It read, "If this doesn't stop, I might have to tell my truth. The world only knows half of what I've lived through." That one sentence shook fans to their core. What truth was Chrissy referring to? What had she been holding back all this time? Overnight, conspiracy threads exploded. Fans began piecing together timelines, comparing old interviews, and even bringing up episodes from Love and Hip Hop's earliest seasons. Some said Chrissy was hinting at deeper issues, maybe financial betrayal or emotional neglect. Others claimed she was preparing to go public with something Jim didn't want exposed. Meanwhile, Jim was nowhere to be found. He hadn't posted in days, and the silence only made things worse. The media painted him as the man hiding from the storm he caused. Gossip pages started asking, "Where's Jim Jones? Why isn't he defending Chrissy?" Why isn't he defending Chrissy? But then, just when everyone thought Jim had gone ghost for good, he reappeared live on Instagram. He didn't waste time sugarcoating. Sitting in his studio, wearing a black hoodie and chain, Jim looked directly into the camera and said, "Yo, let me say this one time. I ain't got no issue with nobody. But stop playing with my relationship like it's some kind of TV plot. Me and Chrissy been through real life stuff. Stuff y'all can't even imagine. And whatever she said to Mona, that's her truth. I ain't mad at it. But I'm not living my life for likes no more." The tone was calm but powerful. You could hear the exhaustion in his voice, but there was also pride, the kind that comes from years of trying to balance love and legacy under the spotlight. His words earned him both praise and criticism. Some fans called it the realest statement he's ever made, while others thought it was too little, too late. But either way, Jim had finally broken his silence. And that moment sparked a ripple of reflection across social media. Chrissy, however, stayed quiet. For 3 full days, she didn't post, didn't comment, didn't appear anywhere. But when she finally did, it was with one single, devastating post. It was a picture of her engagement ring sitting on a table next to a half-full glass of wine. The caption said only, "When love becomes survival, it's time to walk away." The internet lost its mind. Fans flooded the comments with heartbreak and disbelief. "Please tell me this isn't real," one wrote. "Not after all these years." Another said, "Chrissy, no. You guys are forever." Within hours, gossip outlets were reporting that Chrissy had officially moved out of their shared New Jersey home. Paparazzi even caught her leaving a hotel in Manhattan with a suitcase, and her close friend Emily B., according to insiders. Chrissy told friends she needed space to breathe, one source said. She still loves him, but she's emotionally drained. She's tired of being the woman in the background while he gets to protect his pride. That same night, Jim posted a cryptic story on Instagram, a dark photo with the caption, "Everybody want real until it comes with pain." Fans immediately connected it to Chrissy's post. Some said it was his way of saying goodbye. Others believed it was his attempt to reach out without words. Meanwhile, Mona Scott found herself dragged into the storm. After days of silence, she finally spoke during a podcast appearance, saying, "I have nothing but love for both Jim and Chrissy. They're family to this brand. But I'll tell you this, love like that doesn't just die. It's complicated, but it's real." Her response didn't calm things, it only made fans speculate even harder. Why is she talking like she knows something? What does she mean by love like that doesn't die? Then came the final twist nobody saw coming. A member of Jim's inner circle leaked that the couple had secretly filmed a private, sit-down conversation for an upcoming streaming documentary. The footage, reportedly shot just weeks before the interview controversy, captured their raw, unfiltered emotions about fame, loyalty, and growing apart. One insider described it as heartbreaking but powerful, saying, "You see everything, the love, the pain, the exhaustion. It's not staged. It's two people trying to figure out if they still belong to each other after everything." When fans heard that, hope flickered again. Maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the end. Maybe Jim and Chrissy were just taking time to heal before coming back stronger. But even as that possibility lingered, the emotional damage was undeniable. Both had been dragged publicly, humiliated by leaks, and haunted by years of scrutiny. In one leaked clip from the documentary, Chrissy could be heard saying, "I don't need a ring to prove I love you. I need effort. I need presence. I need peace." Jim replied softly, "I'm trying. But the world won't let me just love you in silence." That line hit millions of fans like a punch to the gut, because it summed up their entire relationship. Love interrupted by fame. Over the following days, other celebrities weighed in. Cardi B posted a message on her story that read, "Sometimes love needs space, not endings." Tamar Braxton commented on a fan page, "Phew, this one hurts. Jim and Chrissy are LHH royalty." Even Cameron, Jim's longtime friend and Dipset brother, couldn't resist chiming in. During a live stream, he said, "That's my brother, and that's family. Whatever they're going through, I just hope they fix it behind closed doors. Not everything gotta be for the internet." But just when it seemed the dust was settling, yet another storm hit. A small entertainment blog dropped an exclusive claiming that Chrissy had been approached to join a new reality show focused on women, reclaiming their independence after public relationships. Fans instantly assumed it was true, and the internet went wild again. So she's moving on. She's turning pain into a bag. I respect it. Jim better move fast before someone else scoops her up. Jim didn't comment directly, but he posted a black and white photo of him in the studio with the caption, "No comment. Just music." That post sparked rumors that his next project would address everything: the love, the betrayal, and the public chaos. Producers close to him hinted that his new tracks were raw, emotional, and brutally honest. By now, it was clear. Both Jim and Chrissy were transforming their pain into power. She was stepping into her independence, and he was channeling his heartbreak into his art. The saga had become bigger than just a celebrity fight. It was now a mirror for how love and fame can't always coexist peacefully. It showed how relationships under the spotlight can break, not because of lack of love, but because of too much pressure. As fans watched this unfold, one comment on Twitter captured the emotion of it all perfectly. "Jim and Chrissy taught us that love in the public eye is war. But even in their chaos, you can still see the love, it never left." And maybe that's what made it all so painful and so real. Because even after the walkout, the leaked messages, and the cryptic posts, deep down, everyone knew that if there was ever a couple strong enough to rise again from the wreckage, it was Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin. Their story wasn't over. Not by a long shot, Tiff. You've been following Jim and Chrissy's story from the very beginning. Then you already know this isn't just another celebrity drama. This is a love story that survived every test fame could throw at it. But now, after years of loyalty, heartbreak, and public pressure, fans can't help but wonder, is this truly the end, or just another storm they'll survive together? Jim Jones walking out of that interview wasn't just about anger. It was a man reaching his breaking point. And Chrissy's silence afterwards spoke louder than any argument. Both of them have carried the weight of public opinion for over a decade. And now the cracks are finally showing. The leaked messages, the emotional posts, and the talk of separation. It's got everyone questioning if love can really endure under the constant spotlight. But one thing's for sure, no matter how messy things get, people will always root for Jim and Chrissy to find their way back. So what do you think? Did Jim go too far walking out, or was he right to protect his relationship from being exploited? And if Chrissy's really done, do you think this time it's for good? Or will love win one more time? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation is far from over. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and turn on notifications, because what happens next between Jim and Chrissy might just change everything. Might just change everything.